Jackson. Is there any other information that you need from me? Omaha, Nebraska. Clarice, Clarice, Jackson, Jackson. Good afternoon. I have come down here the last 3 years as a proponent for this bill. I sit before you, number one, as a parent. You can give me any other titles that you want. I do a lot in my community. I love my city, but I am disappointed in the education that children that look like me are getting. And I think that the Nebraska brand, the good life for who is what I will ask you. For who? Or for whom? We have a teacher in here. My dad was a teacher for 34 years, so I don't take that as a downplay. The point I'm making is this. I don't see many people in this room that look like me, but I know in 2013 we had a lot of parents that came down here on a bus, and they sat up here and they expressed themselves to you for hours about how their children are lacking in a quality education. My daughter, which I've said this many times, was one of those children. And when we talk about education, we can no longer sit back and allow philanthropists and the fact that it's not touching possibly you all to prohibit you all from seeing what is happening in our communities. It is not okay for children to go to school like my daughter, who went to a traditional public school from pre-K to 4th grade, unable to read simple 2- and 3-letter words. I have heard so many disturbing, disheartening things being spoken about African American parents. They don't care. They don't read enough to their kids. Well, they're not advocating enough. Well, I was that parent that did all of that and was told at the end of that we're doing the very best for her. And the very best was she couldn't read. And it was only when I took her out of the traditional public school setting that she gained reading advances to the extent of being a 3rd grade reader in 1 year in a different setting. So what do you say to a parent who is in a failing school? She's not in one of these flourishing schools that we brag about. They're in one that isn't working and has not worked. It didn't work for their parent. You want parents to read to their kids? They came from the same school that now is failing their kid. They can't read because they were never taught to read. You can't expect something from them that they were never given. So how long do we wait? How long do we wait for you all to figure it out and get it together? By the time you figure it out, another generation will be failed. And then those people then become our citizens that go out here. We have to have high health care. We have to have prisons full of people that look like us, particularly males. Mass incarceration. Prisons are built off of 4th grade reading scores. So we can sit here as pious as we want to. We can sit here and act like as long as it's not touching me, it's okay. But at the end of the day, it is going to touch this city in one way or another. It's going to touch it in healthcare. It's going to touch it in teen pregnancy. It's going to touch it in crime. And guess how it touched mine? It touched my daughter in 2015. And she's no longer on this earth. And I partly blame the lack of educational quality that is in these school systems. So these kids don't have any hope. So they don't do anything else but kill each other. And they killed mine. And I was that parent that did all that I could do. So we have an obligation and a responsibility. When you sit in these chairs, you're not just sitting here because somebody gave you some lobbying money or they gave you some money to support your campaign. You are here for the citizens. And North Omaha and the parents that are in North Omaha, they matter. And I am one of them people.
Thank you. That's very powerful. Any questions from the committee? Senator Walz?
Just thank you for coming today. Really, I appreciate it. Can you tell me a little bit more about your story? Like, what? You moved your daughter to another school. How do you think that changed? What were the changes? What made the difference there?
One of the things that changed for her is hard, and I have seen many parents who've come to me where their kid is failing. And as a parent, and I don't know how many of you all up here are parent or grandparent, but your kids matter to you. And to see them come home at night and they're crying and homework is taking hours and they're giving it their best, but they still don't grasp it right. And then the parent is doing all that they can to help them. But guess what? I can take my kid to the doctor. I'm not a doctor. So I can only do so much. So I take them to where I know they'll get help. That's what parents are doing when they put these kids in schools. So we're going to schools to get them the help that they need. And I have a father who was a school teacher. I'm not opposed to school teachers. And I don't submit to this argument that is put out here that if you support school choice, you hate traditional schools and you hate teachers. That is absolutely asinine to me. It is ridiculous. My daughter went to this private school. It's called the Phoenix Academy. And guess what? My tax-paying dollars, because I pay taxes too, I'm a homeowner, I do it all. It stayed in the Omaha public school system, but my daughter didn't stay there. It didn't help her. So is it fair to me that my money stays there and I had to put more money out and pay for her to go to this private school? And then the 1 year that she was there, she went from not being able to read at all to a third grade reader. She turned from hitting herself in the head, talking about how stupid she was and how bad she was and how she was incapable of learning, to a competent young lady with a surety, because she got in the right environment with the right curriculum that boosted her self-esteem and made her feel more confident about who she was.
Do you think it was more of a one-on-one?
No, she was in a class. She was in a classroom with about 20 students, about the same as the traditional public school. It was just, in my daughter's particular case, the Omaha Public Schools, which they still don't, and Senator Pansy Brooks has introduced a bill that is beginning to tap into that, and that's for dyslexia, but they don't offer that in the traditional public school. They still don't. So we have many parents that are still dealing with the same thing I dealt with 24 years ago with my daughter when she started school. So she got a program that worked for her, which is one of the things that you can do. I have many teachers that I know who say, you know what, we want to do different things in the classroom, but we got to go through the principal. We got to go through the Board of Education. We got to go through the curriculum department before we can do that. We have Black and brown parents who are wanting their kids to learn about their culture that can't do it. Because guess what? We don't have a real authentic African-American history curriculum except for in February. It's not right. Racial discrimination in school is an issue. It is a big issue. We don't have enough teachers that look like us in our schools. And then let's talk about how many of these teachers are here. I don't see many teachers in here that look like me. That look like me. How many? I don't see them. And they're not in the classrooms. Exactly. We don't have many of them in the elementary schools. That's disheartening. That's disturbing. And then the teachers that do come in from these rural areas, God bless them, but they have never really had an experience with a Black person. So then they come into these classrooms with these preconceived notions about how they're in poverty. Oh, you're in this school, it's high poverty. The parents are at home and they don't care and they're not reading to their kids. So they come in with these unconscious biases that then proceed into the classroom. And so we have Omaha Public Schools who did a study several years ago where you have a school in North Omaha where the expectation from the teachers is 17%. And we already know the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe in the students and the students know that you believe in them, you're going to get more out of them. But when you don't, guess what you're going to get? And then at the end of that, we have the school to prison pipeline. And I saw it begin to happen with my own child because she made it to the 4th grade. And her behavior started to escalate because guess what? She couldn't read. So guess what kids do best? They avoid. Why go to school? Why sit in a classroom where I have to read and I can't? So I'm going to do whatever the hell I need to do to get out of there. So that's what she began to do. So guess what? The focus then was detoured from the reading, and it was placed on the fact that she was a behavior problem. So then they wanted to concentrate on that. And then she kept getting kicked out of school all the time. And she knew that worked for her, so she was fine with that. But I wasn't. And I knew it was because she couldn't read. And that's what's happening to a lot of our students. And so at the end of the day, I am here once again, and I will come back as much as I have to. I appreciate all you. I know that you guys take time out of your lives to be senators. You want to do what's best for the state. But you also have to understand that just because it may not be happening over here, It is definitely happening over there. And we need help. We need you all to look beyond what is preached to you, what is put in the messaging on TV, what is spoken to you by people who don't live there. Live that life and then tell me how good it is. And until you can do that, until you can tell me you have been to these schools that are low performing and have been consecutively year after year after year, and you see the product, you see the despair, you see the children who first of all internalize this on themselves. I see it. I saw it in my own. And as a parent, that's the worst feeling ever, to know that your child is feeling like that. And there's nothing you can do to help them. When you've gone up to the school, you've begged, you've cried. I went to the school. I went to the superintendent. I went to the assistant superintendent. I went to the director of special education. They have me. There's coverage of me all over the internet. Google it. KETV Channel 7, Letitia Fox, back in 2001. And when you hear the director of special education, because I thought, if I only get her in special education, one more moment.
There's others that want to ask
I
questions.
I got you. I apologize. Just let me say this one part. But when I went to the director of special education, because I thought that if she got in special education, then they would finally address her issues. And she was placed in there for a year, and then this director told me, we're doing the very best, and the very best when she couldn't be. Think about those parents when you're up here talking to people about this issue. Thank you.
Any other
I
questions?
just want to follow up real quick. I just want you to, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. And we are trying very hard to put legislation in place. Summer foods program, programs for kids with mental health issues, the dyslexia bill. We are trying very hard to put legislation in place and, try to make a difference. And the other thing that we are obviously up against is funding. But I just want you to know that we are trying to make an effort to do a better job. I appreciate that.
Any other questions? But at the end of the day, it's because you're poor and you don't speak English. That's the excuse.
Which is horrible.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. That's
Set
just
the
terrible.
expectations. The expectations should be on public education, is what my opinion is. And I thank you for your testimony. And I don't care if your child is poor or speaks a different language. You got one shot at it, and you're equal. And the
Yes.
expectations should be the same. Thank you, Senator Pansy Brooks.
Thank you. Well, I just want to be clear that it's not, that we're not saying it's because people are poor, and we're trying to find the best solution. I don't want generations of kids. I'm on the Judiciary Committee. I understand that school to prison pipeline of kids can't read by 4th grade. And, the problem is that not every charter school is perfect either.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I've got an article somebody gave me about Harlem Village Academies, the Miracle School debunked. There are lots of different problems that each place has. And if we had enough teachers and enough good people, I mean, the Department of Education needs to focus on North Omaha. There is no, and the native schools. And we have got to raise the alert and do something about that. And I'm with you. I really care about it. I'm sorry about what your family's experienced and your friends, and I appreciate you coming every year. I'm sorry, but the struggle's worth it. So
Thank you, Senator Brooks. I would just like to say this to your statement about, there are some bad charter schools out there. And I think for those of us that have been working on this and very passionate about it, we absolutely don't want a charter school in here that fails. I think we have 25 years of data and research that lets us know what works and what doesn't. And I think that same thing works in Omaha Public Schools. I think that when they started doing magnet schools, they started out with one, and then based on that, then they created more. And that's the same thing. We don't want to test. I think there's enough testing with our kids. When I say testing a model to see if it works. Our kids don't have any more time to be tested on. They're not test tube dummies. But we need to find the things that work. There are charters that we know work. We know how they work. And we need to implement them, and we need to give our kids more options, is all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need to really move on.